Every town has a place steeped in mystery. In one small town, it was the old house on the edge of the forest. Legends said that anyone who entered that house at night never returned. Kids would tell stories about the missing people, but no one truly believed them. No one, except for a group of teenagers who saw it as the perfect challenge on Halloween night. Jake, Emma, Tyler, and Sarah decided to test their courage and spend the night in that very house. They prepared for days, bringing flashlights, ropes, candles, and even a camera to record their adventure. But as they stood before the dark walls of the house, an uneasy silence filled the air. "Are you sure this is a good idea?" Sarah asked, staring at the dilapidated windows. "Come on, it's just an old house," Jake laughed, trying to hide his own nervousness. "We'll spend a few hours here, film some cool videos for Instagram, and everything will be fine." The group laughed and joked as they walked up the overgrown path toward the house, but the moment they stepped onto the porch, the door creaked open on its own, as if inviting them inside. They all paused for a moment, but Jake was the first to step in. The inside of the house was even gloomier than the outside. The walls were covered in peeling wallpaper, and the floor creaked with every step. The air was heavy, and the flickering of their flashlights created dancing shadows on the walls. "Did anyone actually live here?" Emma whispered, looking around at the decaying furniture. "Who knows? But I'm pretty sure no one's living here now," Tyler said, trying to mask his own fear. They slowly made their way deeper into the house, each step quieting their laughter and increasing their sense of dread. Tyler was the first to notice the staircase leading to the second floor and suggested they go up. The stairs groaned under their weight, and each step felt heavier than the last. When they reached the second floor, they found a long, dark room filled with large, old mirrors. The mirrors were so dusty that they barely reflected the light from their flashlights. "What's this?" Jake asked, approaching one of the mirrors and wiping away the dust with his hand. As soon as he did, he froze, his face twisted in horror. "What happened?" Sarah asked, rushing over to him. My reflection. It's not moving," Jake whispered, not taking his eyes off the mirror. Everyone gathered around the mirror and saw the same thing. Jake's reflection stood completely still, even as he slowly stepped back. His mirrored version just stood there, staring back at them with empty, cold eyes. Suddenly, Jake's reflection smiled. It was a sinister, unnatural grin. Then, the reflection waved and disappeared into the darkness. Jake began to shake, trying to process what had just happened. "It was just some kind of trick. A joke. Someone's messing with us," Tyler said nervously, though even he felt that something was very wrong. Suddenly, all the mirrors in the room began to crack, and their reflections started to distort. Their faces twisted into inhuman shapes, their eyes blackened, and their bodies became warped. The mirrors shattered, sending shards flying across the room. Behind the broken mirrors, a door appeared leading down into a dark basement. Without thinking, Jake led the way. "We need to get out of here," he said, glancing back at his friends. The basement was even more terrifying. There they found old children's toys, broken furniture, and dust-covered cribs. Emma noticed an old poster depicting a family that once lived in the house. Standing next to them was a black figure, the very same figure that now appeared before the teenagers in the basement. A woman in black, like a shadow, emerged from the darkness. She stepped closer, and with each step, the air grew colder. Her face was hidden beneath a hood, but they could feel her sinister gaze upon them. "Run!" Jake shouted, but the basement door slammed shut. The house began to come alive. The walls seemed to breathe, and the floor groaned beneath them. Despair filled the group as the woman reached out for Jake. She quietly whispered, "You will never leave." Her words echoed through the room. In the final moments, Jake screamed, but his cry was swallowed by the darkness as the light flickered out. The room filled with whispers, sobbing, and eerie laughter.